Voilà. Je te laisse. Hop.
On s'enregistrer?
Ouais.
Ok. Donc, bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue à la présentation donc, de la première version de l'orchestration. Ça s'appellera donc Orchidsv0.1, donc, qui est une version alpha pour l'instant, un premier prototype, pour vous montrer un petit peu ce qu'on a réalisé en termes d'interface et de corps derrière. Donc maybe I'm gonna do it in English, in fact, for people who will be watching the video. So the application is on the form of it's like like an application. So when you want to install it, you just have to drag it on installation, and that's it. So it's pretty easy.
Install procedure.
Install procedure.
Done.
First part. So then I'm gonna open it. So I'm gonna explain you what each part of the application can do, all the parameters that you can change, and I will show you one orchestration and the solution, just to see that our system is okay. So at first you can see here it says ready. It has a little time of loading. It's the indexing of the solo directory. So there is like 41,000 sounds, so it can take little time. So that's it. So you have here the analysis module. I will explain it just after. So the Explorer, I think you have already seen this module before. It was the last one. So as you can see, you can explore in the solo directory as before, and some other features that we have put more. So the analysis. So as you can see, there is like the drop target sound here. So I can just show you. If we take here one target, it makes the analysis, and then you can see the waveform, the spectrum, sorry, and the partials of the sound. It has been analyzed by partial tracking by PM2. So you can display more like the waveform or spectrum. You can choose. You can just click on descriptors to have access to all descriptors of the target. So like energy envelope. Now you have the possibility of modifying every features like this. So it will after be used for the orchestration. Also you can play the sound or the partials. So don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if we can plug. Je sais pas si ça marche. Okay. So you can play the sound. It works.
Yeah, just a little thing is that every time you change anything inside the analysis, it's automatically updating the corresponding features inside the server. So for example, here the partials are actually which partials are going to be used as a target to be orchestrated. So if you take one and change it, or you change one of the time series, it's going to automatically update, and you still have the mean and deviation there that you can actually freeze or use inside the orchestration.
Yeah. So after the play button, you can choose to play more like the partials. We can choose to play both. So that's the meaning of this little thing.
And you can also provoke a quantification of the partials. So at the beginning it's cents, so it's going to be really hertz analysis, but you can quantify it to up to semitones.
So after we have here the info module about the symbolic informations of the target, and you have criteria. So it's like the features you want to optimize for the orchestration. So you have all these. You can choose everything with some default parameters, and you can save your own parameters. So that's it. Demo. Yeah, like this.
It's like if you select some descriptors like this, and then you shift click everything in the interface as preset system. So everything you are
now it's a preset.
able to change, you also have a specific preset system that is going to be saved from one session to another. So you can modulate your parameters together.
And you also can change parameters for the analysis. So for the IRCAN descriptors and also the PN2 analysis. So that's it for the analysis module. So the Explorer, I think we have already been through that module. We just add some a new algorithm on the descriptor matching. So before there was the complete one, that means the GTW.
Yeah, it's a full brute force search inside the time series database. This is an explorer to see what's in the database only. So it's a bit decorrelated to the rest of the system, which is going to be what parameters and features you use for orchestration. This is really what's in my database, what can I add. You can also, like we showed last time, you just take one folder and you drag it on the left Explorer part, and it's going to automatically analyze and add to the database new sounds that can be used in orchestration.
And after you can choose your new directories here by clicking on the source you want to use for the orchestration. So, and the descriptor matching, we have the fast algorithm now. It's with the time series indexing algorithm. So we put fast because it's normally faster. We can try.
Okay, that's a new feature. Whoa.
It's a new feature. So yeah, but it has to do the indexing. Before. Ouais. Okay.
En fait, c'est fast après que ce soit long.
But you have to do the time series here. But I will not show it now because it has to do the index of all database. The first time, after you just serialize it in the directory, and then it will be really fast. But the first time it has to do the index. So yeah, about the Explorer, I think that's it. So you can do like queries on the sounds. So if you want dynamics or just some instruments, you filter the database, and then you have the sounds here that correspond to your queries. Okay, so the filters module is almost like the Explorer module, but it's totally decorrelated because the filters will be applied on the orchestration. On the orchestration, so you can choose approximately the same things, but it will apply when you use the orchestration module. So
you went a little bit too fast. In fact, these are the constraints you impose on the solutions. These are what can you see in the database, but whatever you do here is not going to change what's going on in the orchestration. And this is, for example, you can constrain the pitch range, and you can choose different pitch range, dynamics, and you can only use really loud sounds. And there is, like the last time, we kept the whole spectral constraints thing. So you can ask your energy envelope to be only inside a certain range. So you can put either symbolic constraints or spectral constraints. And same as before, you can, for example, if you choose some parts, you see we made some groupings inside the playing style, so it's easier because before there was like 100 of different playing styles. Now you can use ordinary sounds, pizzicati, harmonics. You have this kind of categories, and if you want to save, you just shift click on a round, and you're going to have a new preset. So this is going to be my new filters, but I can go back, you see, to one or another, or then I can say, okay, I'm just going to use ordinary sounds. I'm going to remove everything and create a new preset by just shift clicking on a round. So that way you can easily, check for different constraints, really fast reorchestrating things. Okay.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah.
This question, I just missed at the very beginning if we can already done what you're showing, or
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's something we want to discuss because it's like 3 gigabytes, 2.6 gigabytes for the application and 40 gigabytes for the database. So same as usual. I mean, we have it on transfer inside here.
okay?
For those of who made the effort to come to this meeting, that's a little gift, you know. But basically, we would like to make it on a dedicated server at IRCAM. For those who are listening to this video, and I'm waving at you, we will make a download link before next week in order to find either it's going to be on something like WeTransfer, which is going to be private, and we're going to send the link on the mailing list. But we're going to put it in transfer for those who can access IRCAM.
And it's already in transfer. It's on the
Orchids?
Orchids, yeah. There is a
Transfer,
Orchids
Orchids.
directory
Orchids.
things.
with a Sol, the new version of Sol,
And
then,
yeah, inside transfer, for those of you who are in the video, in transfer it's Orchids folder, and you have the app and the database.
okay. So then the orchestra module. So this is one of the most important ones. So you can choose the orchestra. So you have some presets of the orchestra. So that means in this one you have 2 flutes, and then you can see them on the mixer, stage mixer, and you can take and just specialize every sound, every group of sounds that you want.
And that's an important feature, that this is a mixer as well as a spatializer.
Yeah.
So you can spatialize your sound to create different renderings, but you can also vary the loudness of each instrument.
Yeah, you can check the volume here.
Basically, I think Daniele made, because we have to bow down to the huge work of Daniele, and he made these like kind of classical presets, but you can add anything you want and just spatialize it.
You can add everything. So if you want less instruments, just put like 2 flutes or 1 flute. You can add more instruments. After you click on it, you can choose. You have the whole range of instruments of Sol.
Sorry, I just wanted. I didn't see the harp icon yet.
Harp.
Wow,
Oh, nice.
cool. Sorry.
Beautiful. So let's take the default one. You apply the orchestra, and then also you can choose the microtonal resolution for the orchestration. For the moment, I will just stay like this. And then the solution. So you have the target, what's been analyzed. You have the filters and the orchestra. So now you can choose to orchestrate by using first. You can use harmonic filtering. You can also change the search depth. That means the number of iteration of the genetic algorithm. And I say genetic algorithm because you can choose between genetic and optimal warping. Do you want to explain?
In fact, to simplify this, we try to put this prototype should feature everything that was in Orchidv and everything that was in Atoms together, and you can choose between the behavior of one and another, and with the extra features like spatialization and the whole preset system and faster indexing and time series indexing. And then we're going to put new features up to November 19th. We're going to talk about this a little bit later. But basically you can, for example, choose a genetic and static orchestration, and you're going to have the behavior of Orchidv. And we put back also the microtonality, which you can select when you use your orchestra. You have the microtonality feature, which is back, which was not in Atoms, but now you have it.
So yeah, this is about the settings. So then you can launch an orchestration. So
And
you can
it's
see,
fast.
and it's done. It's fast. So you can choose the spacing. It's about the display after you have all the instruments with the solutions, with the symbolics of every solution. So you can just hide the instruments who hasn't been found, and then just listen. But I think the onsets are
Yeah, messy.
Not cool, but the onsets are messy, but
Yeah, this is because the length of the time series has been extended.
yeah.
But we can select and do the awkward, strange thing that we did last time, which is okay. First bug. This is normal, completely,
Now we have to fix
entirely normal. Do not be afraid. Now the idea is that Daniele is sending a message every time the filter change. So the thing says, "Whoa, what you're doing?" So don't worry, everything's fine. I'm trying another orchestration, but now I constrained the length of the target. There is an abstract mode. So I told you just before that we tried to mash up together orchidea and atoms. So you have the temporal, the static, the microtonality, and you also have the abstract feature, which is actually when you click here, you can either, you put a sound file on the top left corner, it's going to analyze the sound file. You use the little round, which is record, and you can record your voice directly to use as a target. Or the last mode is the abstract target, which is going to be, you can start from scratch. So you have no sound file, you have only time series. And now I just constrained it to be like the length I want. So I want it to be like here. Sorry, this is saturation actually. Okay. So yeah, and you have the Explorer on the bottom left corner. So you can choose between different orchestration. Whoa! Woo!
That's a new one.
Just in time.
That's a new one. Cool.
Okay, so we're gonna edit that on the video. That's the beauty of live. Wow. Okay.
Nice one.
Seriously, it's the first crush.
Non-break.
Note.
Non
Note it
bug.
down. Do not mess up with it.
Do not click.
Do not click on the software. Okay, so maybe just I think we've made almost everything, except for the maquette.
Yeah, the maquette.
So maybe we can try again. Oh yeah, he's indexing the database. This is something you should note as well. Do not index the database all the time. Or can't you? Ah, pardon, on en discutera après. Ouais, non, mais on va éditer ça. Okay, donc, so I think there is one last thing. Okay, c'est fait là ou je comprends pas.
Quand tu vas dans Explorer, normalement, oui, c'est bon. Si tu peux checker.
Okay. Okay, so demonstration of the recording, I think. Hello. No? Oh, it's an abstract target mode. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so this is my voice. I use it as a target, for example. I'm gonna edit my energy envelope. No, it's cool. So yeah, let's choose other criteria. This is lots of criteria. That's perfect. Okay, let's restart from there. So, wow, this is fast. And so basically you have the same, again, one thing we kept from Atoms is that when you orchestrate and it works perfectly well without crashing, then you can select some parts of the solutions you like, for example this, and then you can put it inside a small maquette and just play around with each instrument. It's going to be automatically linked to the rightful sample. So for example here I'm going to modify keep, for example, some parts of the orchestration, but then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to listen to other solutions, and then with the new solutions I can also choose new parts I like. So it's like in Atoms, you can copy and edit directly to have some kind of temporal things. So in the next updates of the system, we would like to try to do this automatically by, this is the future things to do. I'm going to talk about it later. And you should have a quantized version, but I don't think it's working. That's also a thing to come. I know it's the same spacing. No. No. So this is not yet functional. The quantized. Ah, yeah, you have to quantize first before. Yeah, and then you have okay. So if you have the you know, like row representation. You can try to contrast with the meta and tempo, and then you just drag the thing to see a more classical version. And yeah, regarding exports, you have exports of the score as BARC file, music XML, MIDI, Open Music, and PWGL. And you have the same thing for independent solutions. So you can export each solution as an audio file as well, audio, BARC, MIDI, Open Music, and PWGL. And you can also save the solutions here inside the presets thing, so you can do an orchestration, do another, and compare the different solutions one to another. Okay. And
How to change the level of each sample?
levels is here. I mean, it's not really. It's when you use the this, you can edit here. It's like this.
Possible on the solution,
I'm sorry.
on the score.
Yeah, I think because this is what you
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not like this.
The velocity.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's completely, so the system is completely based on Bach. So a huge hello to Daniele, which made a brilliant work of putting this together. So we should ask him, but we're going to do user documentation as well with all the features. But basically everything that is connected to scoring, you can check in the Bach documentation. So if you want to change something, or you know, copy paste, all the operations are. This is a back roll, okay, back roll, and the maquette is also a back roll. So everything is a back roll. Wow. And yeah,
for maquettes.
for maquettes you have like a huge preset section, so you can actually construct your piece. So yes, that's about it. So so yeah, let's talk. I don't know if you have questions for this aspect. I mean,
You can change the overview.
yeah.
We didn't try.
Yeah, in fact, the idea here is that this is really an alpha prototype. I mean, by preparing this meeting, we already spotted like 5 bugs. So that's, you know, the idea is we have like 2 months before doing what we will name like the final software. So the idea is for you to click everywhere, please click everywhere. Please make the system crash. That would be brilliant, because we love bugs. I mean, Antoine, he loves bugs. Oh wow, you dream about bugs. Yeah, I know. And yeah, basically you can try anything you want. Everything's supposed to work, and this system is supposed to embed everything from the past systems plus new features. But the little cookie I wanted to give at the end of this presentation is that actually, okay, this is the cookie, and basically we want to add a lot of things in the. These are the deadlines for us. So maybe we will try to do everything we decided. So for example, a huge thing is going to be that you can do manual warping on the solutions. And we will add this new ID we had. So it's open to discussion. I mean, the interface is open to discussion, the features is open to discussion, and what I'm going to say is open to discussion. So the idea is that we've thought that even if the system can do some temporality, when you insert like complex targets, we tried it with a friend from Canada, the system starts to be kind of lost. Yeah? So my idea is that in fact we can pre-analyze, we can help the system being smarter by pre-analyzing the target and making what I'm calling an autopilot mode that is going to say, okay, these are parts that are complex in terms of partials, this is something that evolves in energy. And in fact, instead of saying I'm going to try to, you know, add new parameters to the genetic search, which is a little bit lost, we're going to segment it and make multiple orchestration to generate, in fact, multiple onsets of the same instrument. So that's one of the huge things we want to add to the final software, which is going to be a real, you know, temporality, and each segment of the target will be orchestrated separately, and then you can choose which segments you prefer, I mean, which solution to which segment. We're also going to add something that is going to take us a long time, but we're going to try, which is to add the real length of the instruments. Right now is that if you have a sample which is 2 seconds, it means that your instrument can only play for 2 seconds. which is a little bit stupid. So basically, we just finished envelope analysis function, which is giving us like the time of decay, the time of sustain, and the time of release, and it's working pretty well. So basically, we're going to say that we can stretch everything from the sustain to the release. So the sustain part of the instruments can be flexible in the future versions. So this is going to be a lot new. And what else? What else? Yeah, the manual temporal warping is that when you analyze, for example, I'm going to come back here. Here you can see that we have this kind of, imposed quantification. So basically, when you analyze the sound with classical analysis softwares, it's going to tell you like, here, okay, your sound is like 250 windows, and windows is supposed to be a granular time point. Okay. But basically, when you listen to that, you can say that, for example, this part for me is just one window. You know, the R is just something that is coherent. So basically, maybe I want to, put different width on my window. And this is also something we're going to add to the next versions, which is going to be the manual temporal warping. So basically, you have the grid of quantification, and you can decide to segment yourself the target, or just to say, this is going to be my new temporality. Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. So the idea is to quite try to improve the whole temporal handling with all these features, and the multiple round algorithm, which is gonna, instead of trying to do this like putting new onsets on instrument, deciding that we're gonna output directly some kind of maquette like this quantified, which is gonna say the different segments of the target are orchestrated like independently, and then you can link them together. Okay. So
I think it's
yes.
Question.
Yeah.
So how far are we from applying all this to a new database? So analysis-wise.
Oh, it's already done. This is already done. You look in the Explorer. You see here there is Sol, which is given. Like the analysis is already done and it's inside. That's why the software is like 2 gigabytes, because the 2 gigabytes are for the descriptors. So all the features of Sol makes around 1.8, 1 or 2. We're going to decrease that to 1 gigabyte, but that's not the question. And so let's say I have. We've not tested it in the new system, but in the previous database module, it's already done. For example, let's say I have. Where are my samples? I work in ECAM and I don't have sounds on my computer. That is amazing. Okay, these are samples. For example, wow, bass drums. I'm hardcore, man. Okay, so you see what I done there? You take this one is a pretty huge, I think. There is like, it's bass drums. So I'm going to want to orchestrate, like violins with bass drums, with something completely doable. So basically I have these 200 sounds. As you can see, you can see that this is going on. So it's analyzing. So you can see the analysis going on. So adding new sounds is really quite easy. I mean, you just take a folder, you drag and drop it on the Explorer, and then, yeah, depending on the number and complexity of your sounds, it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know.
It's done.
Okay, Orchids reply, okay.
So it's done.
And it's done.
So normally you have the directory just under Sol.
Under Sol?
Yeah.
Oh, it's indexing. It's re-indexing the database after it. We really have to put, some kind of, there it is. And you can see that behind Sol, now you have your bass drums. And basically, your bass drums, you can listen to them, see, like this, and you can look at the average. Oh, yeah, it's just really not loud. Right. Oh, maybe we can we try? No, it's going to be...
In filters.
Come on. Okay,
you can go to filters.
In filters,
just choose your new one.
Yeah, but it has no instruments. How is it going to be?
It has no instruments.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Let's try.
Let's try it.
That's experimental. So yeah, basically...
Filters are applied. The orchestra, yeah, it
Yeah,
means.
in the orchestra you had a bass drum.
I can add. No,
Yeah, we
I
have
think
to.
we need to
Nice. The whole adding
keep that
sounds
button.
to the orchestration is.
Just let's try.
I think it's not gonna. It's doing something.
Yeah.
But it's
And
using
it's
like.
yeah, it's using the soul.
Yeah, it's
sounds.
because. Yeah, you have to affect it to an instrument.
Mm.
Yeah, we didn't thought about that.
Yeah.
The thing is that if you add new sounds to existing instruments, the problem is that this is actually filtering the database by saying I'm only going to use flutes, oboes, bassoons, and things like that. Problem is when I had my bass drum, it doesn't know what a bass drum is as an instrument. So maybe this is one note. Because yeah, otherwise everything is functional regarding this. But if you want, I don't know. I think Soul is blocked. But if you want, you can add sounds to pre-existing. If you add new sounds to the horn, it's going to consider it as horns. I'm not. Can we do that? Like, can I just put it? No.
No, Soul.
Yeah, Soul
you
is.
can't edit Soul.
Sorry, you can't edit Soul. But if you had something which is named bassoon, and which has this, typical. Like family instrument and then playing style. Okay, if you follow this, yeah, you have to follow the. That's why and then it's like name of the instrument, short name of the instrument, playing style, and pitch, and optionally you can have the dynamics. If you don't have dynamics, it's going to be mezzo forte. And if you have dynamics, it's going to be the dynamics. So yeah, if you want it to work right now, you just have to do this, to use this kind of thing.
It's not possible to create
Yeah.
a new family.
That's actually what we
What
should
we
do.
do with
No, the
others.
problem is that there is others. If you look at the bottom, there is others, and there is other techniques.
And
So there is this
no
kind of
instruments.
there is the no symbolic attached
Yeah.
part. The problem is we don't have the instrument corresponding to others.
Yeah.
So maybe we could add the anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we should
You
do
know?
that. We should do that.
Just do something that is like whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Anything.
We can do that.
We'll do that.
We'll do that.
Anything.
All new. Only that.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, no, yes. Okay, so you can get it and you can start.
So sorry, yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So according to this way, we can put some sounds. Do they have to be samples, meaning like really short one, or could they be like whole sequences? of sounds?
Interesting. Yeah, they can be anything you want. I mean, it's completely agnostic, and it depends. Just think before you do, because for example, if you tell him he's gonna trust you like your god. I mean, you give him a sequence and you say, no worries, that's a violin pizzicati, man. Yeah, he's gonna trust you. So yeah, you can give absolutely anything you want.
But I mean, does the algorithm segment
No.
sequences into
No.
different?
No, absolutely not. This is these are considered as musical atoms. Okay, so if you put, for example, a woman singing for 10 minutes, it's going to use it as a musical atom. Yeah, but in the next versions, which we finished the envelope analysis, which is attack, decay, sustain, release. We have this automatic analysis, and in the next version, we're going to try. So you see that we think about musical atoms because we're going to try to find the window where it's sustained and think that, okay, we can stretch this smaller or larger. Okay, so basically, if we do that and you put, for example, the sequence, Okay, the problem is we're going to stretch your sequence based on this automatic analysis. So maybe, yeah, maybe a sequence is not the best idea, but I mean, you can try. And an interesting thing we talked about last time is that we would like to try, okay, so there is also, we're going to talk about the day of presentation, because you know there is a IRCAM forum on November 19th, and we are going to have like these big days of presentation, of showing the softwares, making the same kind of demonstration we made, but with everything working. And the thing is, we would like also for people who are interested to produce use cases of the system. So if any of you is interested to make a small presentation and show how are you working with the software on November 19th, for example, you made a little piece, I don't know, or you tried something completely crazy. And one of our ideas, for example, was to try to orchestrate instrumental sounds with synthesizers, you know, to reverse the paradigm. And basically now you can actually give a synthesizer as being, you know, the things to orchestrate. So what if we just give, I don't know, a piece of violin and say, okay, do that with synthesizers. That would be cool. But that's one example of what we can do. So I don't know, we're going to talk about that in the newsletter, I mean in the mailing list in the upcoming weeks. But just know that on November 19th we're going to try to have presentations from users and super users. I don't know how you call them. Super users. Sounds good. Okay. I think I'm done. I'm a little bit dry.
So we got the issues.
Oh, sorry. Same as before, there is a forge. Okay, so for those of you who weren't there, I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be on the video as well. Praise you. So yeah, for it's forge.ircam.fr/p/orchids, and there is tickets. That's it. I think tickets or reports. I don't remember. It's the Forge system. Issues. Okay, issues. I'm gonna put that really. Bam and bam. Okay, so it's issues. So it's like the last modules. You go on this address, and you just go to issues, and you can create a new issues. And the thing is that even if it's called issues, I like it to call it features and IDs as well. Like I don't know, change the interface. Okay.
And should we expect next versions on the Forge, or as it only, or?
No, problem is that's actually a bit lame. We try to upload the software on the Forge, but it's not meant for something 2 gigabytes.
You can, as I understood, it's the database that costs us 2 gigabytes.
No, that's the descriptor database.
Yeah.
The sound database.
This can be elsewhere. I mean.
Yeah, but it's gonna be the same. I mean, yeah, we can give. In fact, if we remove the database, like the Explorer is gonna be empty, and then you have to like reanalyze the whole thing, which takes like 2-3 days.
But imagine you just want I have my database, and I just want to download the next version and then analyze my own database without needing Sol at all.
Yeah, of course. In fact, from what I understood, that's how it's going to be distributed on the forum. Like, there's going to be the extra light version with no database at all. I mean, not even the descriptors. Then there's going to be the gold version with only the descriptors, and then the premium package, the trip to the Bahamas and all. Yeah, with Sol, with the descriptors of Sol. But for example, the core is working without a database. I mean, the core is just going to launch and say, I have nothing to do. But then you have to add your sounds. So we can also put this version on like a public link, or I mean, some kind of storage site. I don't know, it's the same problem as always. How do we put, I mean, on forum, it's no problem. They put like the SPAT software right now is about 1 gigabyte, I think. the new version.
Yes.
So
Yes, please.
I think there's not going to be a problem when we have access to the forum data server, which can handle this, but Forge is for development. But
It's not a problem.
on Forge,
On Forge.
yeah.
Anyway, I mean, it's also like once you get the new versions, it's also nice not to re-download everything. Like so.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, but Soul is not going to move. I mean, we are not going to record new instruments, I think. We have other things to do right now. But basically, we need just some kind of repository for the time being. So maybe we can try a WeTransfer link. I think we can do up to 100 gigabytes. So yeah, right now we're going to go and to our desk, and we're going to upload this version on WeTransfer, and we're going to send the link to WeTransfer and to the unedited video of the software perfectly working on the YouTube, I think. Okay. Perfect. So, many thanks to Daniele Ghisi, by the way, for his work.
Thanks, Daniele.
Woo!
Beautiful.
Okay.
And goodbye to
Yeah,
all viewers.
goodbye. See you next week.
See you.
Bam.